Yes, good morning to all my dear students, and you all are welcome in my class of social science. So, today I am here before you with the chapter of political science, chapter number 6, and its title. It is all about understanding the criminal justice system of our country. And, children, in this chapter, the main points are mentioned over here. First of all, we'll have the introduction of the chapter, general introduction with the help of an example, live example. Then this show very nicely one story is presented over here. The story is all about a domestic servant, Shanti, who is the main character of the story. So with the help of this story, we are going to understand that what are the four and who are the four key players or key pillars of our criminal system, criminal justice system. And one by one we are going to see their important roles also in the system. That is, what is the role of police, what is the role of defense lawyer. Okay, then DK Basu guidelines. Who is Mr. DK Basu and what guidelines he has given to the Supreme Court. And then from Supreme Court these orders have been given to the our system, to the criminal system, which everyone has to follow, which police has to follow very strictly. What is the role of public prosecutor? So who is a public prosecutor? And then lastly, what is the role of judge? The very important person who plays a very important role in our criminal justice system. So this is what we are going to read about in this chapter. Students, generally what do we see in our society? Okay, what we see that if anybody violates the law, okay, if the violation of the law takes place in our society, in our neighborhood, violation means if someone has disobeyed the law or broken the law. How? By by killing someone, or by attempting the murder. Okay, or if anyone is accused of theft, then what generally we see in our society and even in the movies also, in that case what happens? Immediately the police comes, the police arrives at the site, at the place where the crime is committed. And then what does the police do? The police arrest the person, okay, the person who is accused, who is blamed of having committed the crime. So this generally, this kind of idea, general idea we have about the our police system. So this is only the introduction of the chapters. Generally, what do we see, students? Whenever the violation of the law takes place by anyone, then what do we do? First step done by the people. Okay, the place where the crime has been committed, they immediately call the police. The police comes at the place, okay, respective place, and then police comes there, and then they just ask the questions to the people, those who are present over there. Okay, so and then they file the report. All then what happens? The police officers, they file the report and they arrest the concerned persons who were involved in the crime. Okay, so this is this is a general idea we have about our police department. Okay, so the important role played by the police is to arrest the person. This we know very well. This is a general concept we know very well, that the police arrest the person. Okay, but here one confusion is there, that now is it in the hands of the police to decide whether the person who has been arrested, to prove that person whether he is guilty or innocent? Is it in the hands of the police that police can decide that this person is guilty or innocent? This is my question. So answer is no. No, it is not in the hands of the police. Okay, it doesn't come under the duty of the police that they will decide that whether the person, this person to whom they have arrested, okay, that person is known as accused person. Okay, the person on whom the police have imposed the charges of crime, and he is found he is involved in the criminal activity. That person is known as accused. So accused person's judgment is not in the hands of the police. Okay, okay, so accused person is guilty or not, it is not in the hands of the police. So according to our constitution, that person, that accused person, he has to undergo a fair trial. Okay, so which people, who people are involved in the process of the fair trial, what is their role? This is what we are going to read in detail in this chapter. So this we are going to explain first of all with the help of a very nice story, imaginary story. Before that, children, in the previous chapters you have read about that there are four pillars of Indian democracy, or we can say there are four organs of our Indian democracy, yeah, in any democratic government. And what are they? This already we have learned in the previous chapter. The first one is legislature, second one is executive, third one is judiciary. And very proudly we can say, students, that Indian judiciary system is completely independent, very strong, very unbiased, and impartially they give their judgment. And the fourth pillar is media. So media also plays a very important role in a democratic government by providing us the correct information about the representative, about the candidate who is going to stand in the election, contest in the election. And on the basis of that only, what do? We shape our opinion and we give the vote to the correct person. So this is the media's role, okay, in a democratic government. So this way there are the four pillars of the democratic government. In the same manner, students, in our criminal justice system, four key players are there. The first one is police, second one is defense lawyer, third one is public prosecutor, and the fourth one is judge. So this their role we are going to understand in a better manner with the help of an imaginary story. And such stories always take place in our neighborhood, in our country, in our state. So here, students, you can see here in this story, first of all, yes, this incident has taken place on 18th August 2006 in Mumbai apartment. And here in the beginning, who is the first character? Mrs. Shinde. So she is Mrs. Shinde, and we can see in the picture that she is looking very depressed, and she has opened one drawer because she is getting ready. So we can see that she is getting ready, but she is looking so depressed and tense because she is not finding her gold chain. Okay, so she is dressing up, and now she is hurriedly, hastily, she is searching that where she has kept her gold chain. So that is why she is looking very depressed. Then at the same time, what happens now? The second character of the story will take entry. He is Mr. Shinde, husband of Mrs. Shinde. He is asking Mrs. Shinde, why you're getting so much late? We have to reach on time in the wedding reception. Okay. So now Mrs. Shinde, she is disclosing the reality to Mr. Shinde that I am not able to find my gold chain. Okay. That's why I'm getting late. And I have seen that Shanti. Now she is going to mention about the Shanti. And who is Shanti? Shanti is the domestic servant or the maid servant of this family. Okay. So now she has mentioned, Mrs. Shinde is telling that I know very well, maybe Shanti has taken because she is spending a lot of time in my room whenever she comes in my room for cleaning. Now immediately they are calling Shanti. Okay. Now here we can see that Mrs. Shinde, she is questioning Shanti, and Shanti is so much afraid. Okay. Now she is asking, Mrs. Shinde is asking, now have you started doing the stealing also? Huh? What are you doing? And just let me know where is my gold chain. Okay. Come on, get your trunk over here. And I want to search in your trunk. Maybe you have kept my gold chain in your trunk. And we have called the police also. So if you have the chain, return to us. Otherwise, police will take action against you. Now we can see the expressions of Shanti. She is so much afraid. She is in so much fear. And fearlessly she is saying, Madam, I have not stolen your gold chain. Okay? Then what happened? Now here we can see all the three characters are standing in the story. Mr., Mrs. Shinde and Shanti. Now Mr. Shinde, he has started searching Shanti's trunk, and he had found an envelope which was containing rupees 10,000 in it. Then what he did? On finding this money, he shouted, he screamed on Shanti that this is only the money which you have got after selling our gold chain. So this way directly they are blaming to Shanti for theft, for attempting theft. Now, what Shanti is saying? Shanti is saying, Sir, my brother. Now, fourth character is Shanti's brother in the story. Shanti's brother, Sushil. So, now what he is saying? Sir, this is my hard earned saving money. I have not done any stealing. Okay, every month my brother and I, we are doing the saving so that after some months we can go back, we can return back to our village, and we have to purchase a bull so that we can settle down once again in the village and we can do our agriculture. We can start our farming again over there. So for this purpose only we are doing our saving. This is the reason that I have saved and kept this 10,000 money in my trunk. So, from Shanti's side, this is the clarification. Now, let us see what has happened ahead. Now, here, Mr. Shinde has come to the police station. Now, see, this is the scene of police station. And now, Mr. Shinde, he is asking to the fifth character of the story, his sub inspector Rao, Mr. Rao. Now, Mr. Shinde is asking to the inspector that here, sir, I have come to file a complaint against my domestic servant Shanti. So I want to file FIR. So what is this FIR, students? The first information. Now Mr. Shinde, first time he has come to the police station regarding this matter. So this is the very first time he is going to tell the information about this theft, about this all incident. So this is known as first information report. So Mr. Shinde now he is going to, he wanted to file FIR against Shanti. Okay, so this way he's giving that my maid Shanti has stolen this chain, gold chain of my wife. Okay, so sub inspector also got ready. Now sub inspector, as we can see that he is registering FIR. So this is how students FIR is registered. Okay, this is the first information report, and in this complete information is mentioned date wise, time wise, incident wise, step by step. Okay. So this is a gold chain. Okay, this is story all about the gold chain only. So here we can see that just on the basis of the doubt, what sub inspector and what next is going to happen here. Now Mr. Shinde, he returns with sub inspector Rao now. Now here we can see Shanti is also standing here. Now sub inspector, what statement he is giving, that I am going to write the statement. Okay, I'm going to write the statement of Mr. and Mrs. Shinde, okay, about the theft. And now what he has done, the next step, Mr. Shinde, he has sealed the envelope also, which was containing the saving amount of Shanti as an evidence. Okay, this envelope they are going to present in the court as an evidence that this money they have got after selling the gold chain. And then I am arresting Shanti and taking her to the police station. So third step what he is going to take, that he is going to arrest Shanti. So finally Shanti has been arrested on the basis of suspect or the doubt which Mr. and Mrs. Shinde were having on Shanti. Now what Shanti is saying, sir please don't arrest me. Now Shanti, we can see she's so much afraid now, so much in tension because she's not knowing that who's going to help her in this situation. So she's pleading, she's requesting to the police inspector, sir don't take me. Okay, I have not stolen any gold chain and this is my hard earned saving money. So kindly do not arrest me. Now on 19th August 2006, now what has happened? Now our fourth character of the story has taken entry, that is Sushil, Shanti's brother. He has arrived at the police station and we can see here, he is Sushil. And he is pleading, we can see very politely requesting to the police inspector, he is Sub Inspector Rao. Just see the expressions of both of them. So he is pleading to Sub Inspector Rao to release Shanti, to make her free. Okay. So now what police is saying? She has been arrested for theft. Okay, on the charge of the theft she has been arrested because she has stolen a gold chain. Okay, so if you want to release her, you can go to the court and get a bail order. So now what is a bail, students? Bail. So bail is also an important term in our justice system. It is a kind of an order, okay, a legal order which makes the accused person temporarily free from the jail. Okay, so now what he is saying, Sushil, sir, but where I will get the money? And how can I hire the lawyer? Because for all these processes, one has to hire the lawyer. So now they have to pay the fees of the lawyer. Okay, they have to they wanted some money, he wanted some money. So he's saying, sir, I'm not able to hire the lawyer, and the money which we were having, 10,000 rupees, that also you have taken under your custody. So in that case, how will I hire the lawyer, and how I will get the bail, and how can I bring the surety? Okay, how I can pay the money of the bail also, because in a bail two things are necessary. One has to pay the money also, and one has to bring one more witness who can give the surety that yes, Shanti has not done any crime, she is innocent. Yes, now let us see what has happened after this incident. What has happened now? As Sushil has told sub inspector that I'm unable to do so. So then what happened, sub inspector? What he did next? He kept illegally Sushil also in the police station for the 2 days. And then in the police station, under the custody of the police station, Sushil was abused. He was physically tortured, beaten by Sub Inspector Rao. Okay, and other police constables also. And then in the police station only, they were just forcing him, urging him that you have to confess means you have to accept that yes, you and your sister only, along with the other domestic servants of the same colony, you all have formed a gang of robbers. Okay, and you people are involved in such kind of thefts. You people are stealing, you people are stealing the gold jewelry, ornaments of other people in the same colony. So you all are involved by making a group of robbers. So this way the police is forcing, by abusing them, by physically torturing Sushil to confess, to accept, and to give the statement that yes, we are only the culprits and we have only attempted this kind of theft. So just think over it, students. Is it the right action done by the police station which they have done against Sushil? Okay. Now Sushil was again and again continuously he was repeating, "Sir, I am innocent. Okay, I am a factory worker. I am not at all involved in such kind of criminal activity." Okay. Then after 2 days, when he did not confess, then police allowed him to go after 2 days. But in the 2 days, he had undergone a severe torture and very a kind of inhuman ill treatment under police station in police station. Afterwards, on next in next month, August, 13th August 2006, again what has happened? Now after a court has granted a bail to Shanti. So ultimately Shanti has got a bail after 1 month. Okay, so we can see that for 1 month Shanti, the poor Shanti, is still in jail. But as she was unable to get anyone to stand surety for her, okay, no one was ready to give any surety for her that yes, now she will not, she's not involved in any kind of this activity. So, and also in the bail, they have to pay according to court 20,000 rupees they have to deposit. Okay, so she was not able to arrange 20,000 rupees, and no person was there to give the surety for her. So that is why in that case what happened, she continued to stay in the jail only. Okay, now she is very much traumatized. Mentally she is very much harassed, emotionally, mentally, and she is very much we can see her expressions, she is in a severe depression. She is so much worried now what is going to happen with me during the trial, because now as FIR has been registered, so now this case has gone into the court, and now the legal proceedings will start in the court in front of the judge. Now these are the feelings. She's thinking in the jail. This is a scene of a jail, and she's thinking that what is going to happen in the court, I do not know. I have not done anything wrong. Okay, still I'm suffering a lot without any reason. I'm still behind the bars only. So who will give me the justice? And just on the basis of suspect. Suspect means doubt. So just on the basis of doubt only, my sir and Mr. and Mrs. Shinde, they have put me behind the bar. Okay, and I have lost my saving also. So she's so much worried about her present condition and also the future, that who will come to help her. Okay. So this already we have done, students. This also we have done. This also we have finished right now. Okay. So now Article 22 is a very important article of the Constitution of India, that we all know that all our supreme laws are mentioned in the Constitution of India. So here now Article 22 is going to help a lot to Shanti. Okay, and Article 39 also. So according to Article 39, first of all, the state government, it is a duty of the state government to provide free legal aid to those people who are unable to hire the lawyer and unable to pay the fees of the lawyer. So here these two articles are going to help the people like Shanti, those who are bearing the circumstances or facing the problems of poverty, that is the people those who are living the below poverty line and unable to fulfill their basic necessities, and those who are suffering from physical disability. In that condition, our Article 39, Article 22 are helping a lot. Okay, so Article 39A of Constitution of India provides free legal aid to the poor and the weaker sections of the society, and they ensure justice of all. Okay, and Article 2214 also says that state government ensures equality before law and legal system promotes justice. Everybody is having the right to get the justice on the basis of equal opportunities to all. So now let's see what has happened now here. So because of that, according to Article 22, the state government has provided and hired a defense lawyer. Now defense lawyer has come in the scene. So this is Advocate Kamla Roy. She is the defense lawyer of Shanti. Okay, here we can see now Shanti, Sushil and Advocate Roy, they all are discussing with each other. Okay, so Advocate Kamla Roy has met Shanti in the court, and now Shanti is speaking. Ki, madam, these are my papers, my documents and my charge sheet. Now charge sheet, what is a charge sheet? Charge sheet is that paper which is prepared by the police, by the concerned police officer who is filing the FIR. So in charge sheet, all the crimes or all the charges, all the charges are mentioned in the paper, in the document, in the record, uh, according to which on what section or on what charges the person has been arrested. And this charge sheet, when it is completely ready, it is submitted in the court in front of the judge, so that judge will get the complete information that what charges the police has imposed on this accused person, on on what ground he has been arrested. So what are the charges imposed on the accused person? This complete details are mentioned in the charge sheet. So this charge sheet copy was given to Shanti also, so that she was having the better information that what charges police has imposed on Shanti, and on the basis of what charges the case is going to be under trial in the court. So this way she is giving the information to Advocate Kamla Roy. Okay, and then she is telling that they found rupees 10,000 also. Okay, they now Sushil is mentioning that they have found rupees 10,000 in Shanti's trunk. Okay, and this way they have suspecting that we have stolen the chain. Okay, and they are telling the truth. They both are telling the truth that this is our hard-earned money, this is our saving, nothing else. Okay, now let us see what has happened. Next, 11/12/2006, what has happened? We can see this is the scene of the court. Okay, so now the court has framed a charge of theft on Mrs. Shinde's gold chain and possession of money. So two things are there. First of all, theft, two charges are there. Court has framed the two charges. First of all, theft of Mr. Shinde's gold chain, and then possession means the amount of money which was found under the custody of Shanti. And second charge was 10,000 rupees which they have found in Shanti's trunk on selling the stolen chain. Okay. Now here Mr. Shinde is telling that I am pleading that fair trial should be there. Okay. So here we can see that the trial before magistrate begins now. We can see. So this is how the trial begins, students, generally in the court. We all have seen on the ones in the center the judge sits. On the one side we can see the witness comes here. Okay. and on the other side we can see the defense lawyer is standing with the accused person. So defense lawyer, what is the duty of the defense lawyer? They defend means they protect the person, the accused person. Okay, and he or she tried to prove that he is innocent, he has not attempted any crime. Now what happened on 8 February 2007? Now here our third key player of our criminal justice system will take entry. And who is he? He is a public prosecutor. Now he has appeared in the court on behalf of the state. Okay, not on the behalf of Mr. Shinde. No. Because whenever anything wrong happens in the society, in any family, in any society, in any state, then what happens? The officer or the lawyer who is hired, he what does he do? He presents the case. Present the case on the behalf of the state, because ultimately it is taken as कि this is not a personal matter, it is a matter of the state, it is a question of the safety and security of that state. Okay, so on the behalf of the state only the public prosecutor is hired, and he presents the case on the behalf of the state government. So public prosecutor is an officer, he is a lawyer who presents the case on the behalf of the state. Okay, it is not taken as the matter of the personal family matter, because it is taken as that something has very much happened wrong and someone has broken the law in this particular state. So now he's going to present Mr. and Mrs. Shinde as a key witness. So these are the main key witnesses. And now what second duty of the public prosecutor is to prove that yes, the crime has been committed with the Mr. and Mrs. Shinde, and Shanti, who is the accused, she has committed that crime. So it is my duty that I have to prove her guilty. She is a guilty of that crime, of committed that crime. So she should get the severe punishment, so that in future no person in my state, in our state, will dare to commit the same kind of crime. So these all are the duties of the public prosecutor. So now public prosecutor, he has started her trial, fair trial, and he is asking Mr. Shinde, come on, tell how did you come to know that your gold chain is missing? So these are the statements of Mrs. Shinde. He is saying that I have just kept my chain in the drawer and Shanti has stolen it. Okay, and because no outsider is coming in my room, and Shanti only, she used to go in my room and spending a lot of time. Okay, and when Mr. Shinde, when we came to know that our chain is missing, then Mr. Shinde, he searched the trunk of Shanti, and in that trunk we found it rupees 10,000 in an envelope. So it means it is cleared that Shanti has sold that chain in the market, and then only she has got rupees 10,000. So it shows that Shanti is a thief. So these are the statements given by Mrs. Shinde. Now here we can see. Now next we can see here. Now we all know, students, that we all have seen in the episodes of the movies also, when public prosecutor, when he takes takes the statements of the witnesses, then what happens? Then the defense lawyer also comes, and she is also going to put up some questions from Mrs. Shinde. This is known as cross examination. Okay, just to get to know the truth. The defense lawyer is also going to put some questions to Mrs. Shinde. So Advocate Kamala Roy, she is cross examined. So now the process of cross examination is going to be started by Advocate Kamala Roy with Mrs. Shinde. So now what she is going to ask? See, so basically you want to say that you have not seen Shanti stealing your gold chain. Okay, so see how directly she is going to prove her point, that nobody has seen, nobody, no key witnesses there, eyewitnesses there, that who can prove that Shanti has stolen the chain. Second thing what she has asked here, which is very interesting, that for the last 3 years she has been working in your family, but she is not involved in any kind of theft. Okay, she has not stolen anything from you. Nothing has been stolen from your house for the last 3 years. And third point which she has put here is that that she is also, it is very easy for Shanti to save 1000 rupees every month because her brother is also working. Okay, so they both can save easily 1000 rupees. And you are also paying your 1000 rupees to her as a every month as a salary. So here Advocate Roy has very clearly kept three situations here. Now what has happened on 20 April 2007? Now Advocate Roy examines Sushil, his employer, as defense witness. Okay, so they have got the testimonies, means the evidences are there. Okay, and she is able to show the rupees 10,000 also in Shanti's trunk. And she is able to show, she is able to also prove, she is trying to prove that this can be the saving also, because they both are brother sister, they both are earning and they both are saving the money. This already we have seen, students. Okay, article 39 we have seen, it has proved so much helpful to Shanti. Okay, this already we have done, students. And now what is going to happen next? Let us see here. On 14th May 2007, now situation has changed. Now when the trial was going on, it is going to complete. Then Sushil, he came to know, he get an information. Sushil, Shanti's brother, he got an information from one more inspector, Inspector Sharma. So he is Inspector Sharma. Okay, and she is Advocate Kamla Roy. So Sushil has got information from Inspector Sharma that he has arrested a gang of young men, young boys, those who have been stealing jewelry from Shinde's neighborhood. Okay, and some of Mrs. Shinde's son's friends are also the part of this gang. See, his son is also involved. Mrs. Shinde's son is also involved in this gang. So Mrs. Shinde chain has been founded finally. So now Mrs. Shinde, she has founded her chain, and now Sushil is telling Advocate Kamla Roy that about this. So Advocate Kamla Roy, she got the information that finally the chain has been recovered. That is why she has called Mr. Inspector Sharma as a witness in the court. And advocate now calling Inspector Sharma as a defense witness. Okay, which is going to defend Shanti from this case. So now Advocate Roy is questioning. So tell me, Inspector Sharma, can you show me and tell what have you founded? So now these are the statements. So we have founded a chain. Advocate Kamla Roy, we have recovered a chain. Okay. And this has been identified by Mrs. Shinde also, and she has accepted that it is her chain only. Okay. And we have also arrested the gang of boys who has been involved in all these theft activities. And they have admitted also that they have only stolen this chain. So with this, we have come to know that the case is completely solved, and what is the reality we have come to know. And finally, on 15th July 2007, what has been taken place? The judge is hearing the testimony of all the witnesses, that is all the statements of the witnesses. It has been heard, okay, by the judge. Judge has listened very carefully all the statements of the witnesses, studied very carefully all the testimonies, all the documents, all the reports, charge sheets presented by the police, presented by the lawyer, all the records of the statements. So after the testimony of Inspector Sharma, Advocate Roy argues before the judge that now the truth has come out. So now it has been proved that Shanti is innocent. So she should be acquitted. Acquitted means she should be released. Okay, she should be released and she should be made free from from all these charges of the theft. So now ultimately, judge, what judgment will be given by the judge? Let us see. So judge is telling that now Shanti, you are hereby acquitted, released by the charges of the theft. Okay, and the police is going to hand over you your 10,000 rupees also. You will get back your hard earned money. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay, and also I have made a point. Now one more important thing. The judge is telling that I have made a point to highlight that Sub Inspector Rao role is conducting such a short investigation that made you spend time in jail. So this way he's very much showing his annoyance also. The judge is telling that some Inspector Rao has not done his duty honestly, and that is why you have to spend a lot of time in the jail. So this is also under against our law, that no person can be kept in the jail for more than 1 day without any order of the court. So this way the Sub Inspector Rao against also the action will be taken. So this is how we have seen, students, that our Shanti, she has been proved innocent and she has been acquitted, finally released from the jail, and now she has got the justice. In the justice, students, who has played the main role? Our criminal, our four key players, amongst them public prosecutor, defense lawyer, and our judge also, and our articles, our laws of the constitution. Okay, article 32, article 39, article 21 also, which we have read in the previous chapter. They have played a very important role in proving innocent our Shanti. Here we have seen that the police has not done, Sub Inspector Rao, he has not done the justification with his role. So this way, students, there are the four key players in the criminal justice system: the police, the public prosecutor, the defense lawyer, and the judge. Okay. Now, what is the role of the police in investigating a crime? Now, this we are going to read in our next, in my second video, we will continue with the same chapter.